Randy, listening and watching to what has gone on today is heart-wrenching. And Erastus told us why President Akufo-Addo's so-called policies are not working. For the first time in the history of this country, there are government officials, some of who sit in cabinet, who are at the zenith of illegal mining. It is not a secret that Wontumi, the Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, is an active galamsey. It is not a secret that the women's organizer of the NPP, Jemfua, is an active galamsey. She is so galamseyous, if I could use the word, that at a point in time the president had to order the army to go and destroy her equipment. And she had the nerve to go to court. Because she disagrees with them. She says that she has the requisite licenses to mine. And she wasn't engaged in illegal mining. But where her illegal mining activities were clearly shown to us. She said, but we saw it. Randy, if you read the Japadia document, John Boadu, the immediate past general secretary, was alleged in that document to also be one of the doyens of Galamsey.
Allegation.
I said alleged. If you heard me, I said alleged. Don't try to do what you're trying to do. Randy, now let's go to the even worst part. Do you remember the interministerial mining whatever? Task force. How did that go? The person who was supposed to be the coordinator ended up being a galamsey. His own party tried to arrest him. He went to court to stop himself being arrested. He is now a parliamentary candidate for the same area. Wasn't he rather accused of taking money? He was rather accused of taking money. So what does that make you? Not that he was accused of engaging. We did a whole gamut of accusations. And then the environment minister was also accused of being a galamsey operator. We found out that his son was doing galamsey. No, that the son, that there are companies that were licensed to engage in mining. Randy, semantics. No. There are legal small-scale mining companies. It is the legal small-scale mining that stray into the illegal mining. Randy, as you sit here, you don't have a mining concession. So you cannot be doing galamsey. Oh, there are a lot of people who are doing galamsey without concessions. Yes, I know. I included certain problems. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of them hide under the guise of legitimate licenses and community licenses and get exactly what I'm saying. There are even some very prominent journalists who are accused of having been galamseys. The issue is that the president is unable to tackle it because many of the people around him, including some of the people who sit in cabinet with him, engage in galamsey. And if Kenya sits here and suddenly has discovered that there is some virtue in governing this country collectively with the opposition, I'm surprised that you have now found virtue in it. Since when has especially this Akufo-Addo administration believed in engaging the opposition in anything? What you have done, what you do, is you arrest members of the opposition, you put them before court for frivolous charges, including the minority leader. You do all kinds of things that are inimical to governance in this country. And now that we are all suffering, you are sitting here, you are asking us to support you. Support you to do what? Since when have you sought the support of the opposition? But you see, Randy, if you look at the hydrological cycle under which we exist, it's a delicate dance between transpiration,
precipitation, deposition, condensation, evaporation.
Let's break it down.
No, transpiration is simply the vapor that goes up, right? Precipitation is the rain that comes down. Deposition is what is deposited on the ground in the form of rain or snow. Sublimation is what happens when the sun shines and it goes back up. Okay? By definition.
Thanks for breaking them down beautifully.
By definition, a river discharges into the sea. Yeah. That's the definition of a river. Yeah. So, if you are poisoning the river with mercury and lead, you are poisoning the sea. Right? And what you call the subsurface flow, right? That we have underneath the surface of the earth. That is the underground streams and the infiltration that goes into the groundwater zone, what we call the groundwater zone, etc., etc. It percolates everywhere. Long and short, there is a proverb in Twi, very simple proverb. Oko say insuon we tifia, me ma anafo, and bekaso biako say insuon tifia. Because it percolates. So if you are mining illegally in the tunnel reserve, and you think that because you live in Kumasi or because you live in Accra, you are free of the lead and the mercury you are putting into the system, you are joking. Because sooner or later, it percolates, it will get to everybody.
Could you break this down for me? This one says that an engineer friend at GWCL told me the problem is beyond turbidity level, but rather presence of other heavy pollutants. It says the Ghana Water Company is being measured, in quotes, in putting the true challenge they are facing.
The turbidity.
It says the issue is rather an issue of
the turbidity,
other heavy pollutants.
Yes, the turbidity, as they talk about, is basically the suspended solids in the water. Okay, so that in and of itself, with time, settles. Okay, it settles. But what you don't know is that some of the heavy metals do not settle.
So what are heavy metals?
Lead, mercury.
Okay.
They don't settle. So when you think they have settled, and you go and you have gone and drank or used it even to bath, right? Your skin ingests it. And I'll give you a very simple example. I like to break these things down. Very simple. You see the women with the lensorbane. You know what is called lensorbane?
Yes.
Those who use Venus de Milo and things, and they have for bleaching. Those bleaching creams are mercury based. That is why they destroy their skin over time and give them skin cancer. So maybe not at the same rate at which you are ingesting it, because you are using it to bath, you are using it to wash your mouth, you are using it to brush your teeth, etc., etc., wash your hands, right? Sooner or later, it will get to us. It is the reason why progressively we are seeing an increase in kidney disease. It is the reason why we are seeing progressive increase in kidney disease in this country. And yet, this government is sitting down, and instead of using money to resolve some of these things, they spend $250 million on All Africa Games. Spend another $250 million.
That's what you were talking about.
Yes. Okay. To another $250 million building a headquarters for the Bank of Ghana, whose governors are busy buying land at AU Village for 130,000 cedis. You see? So, the lack of will and the irresponsibility of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia is stark. I don't want Kenya to tell me that Bawumia cannot do anything about it. Because Akufo-Addo has told us that he has handed over the reins of government to Bawumia.
When did he say that?
Oh, he said it a few days ago that he has come and done his bit. He even quoted a Bible verse that he has done his bit.
But that's not what he meant.
You see, Randy, this is not literature for us to try to divine meaning into what Shakespeare was saying in 1431. What Akufo-Addo said, we heard it, we understood it. What I'm saying is that Bawumia is essentially the president of this country. And I use the word essentially because he has been handed the mandate to lead the ruling party to election. He is the vice president of this country. And what does he tell us? He tells us that he cannot do anything now. We should wait until he becomes president. Because if he becomes, by the time he becomes president, he won't have anything to do if he does everything now. And he laughed about it. You see, I've told you before, Randy, we are on a precipice of disaster in this country. Whatever sphere of life, whether it is education, look at what Abu Jinapo went to say. As educated as you are, you stand on a platform and say, if NDC comes to power,
it's politics.
No, but Randy, Chinya has just told us that the politics needs to stop at a certain level. Abu Jinapo is one of the smartest human beings I've ever met in my life. This is beneath him. Right? Abu Jinapo is a physicist. Never mind the law. He's a physicist. This is beneath him. But what I'm saying is that if we think that we are sitting in Accra and so we are safe, or we are sitting in Kumasi so we are safe, we are joking. I can give you a full tutorial and I can even give you calculations of how long it will take that groundwater to be contaminated. We are all digging boreholes. Today when you come to even airport residential area, everybody is digging boreholes. Right? And by the principle of what a semi-permeable membrane is, with the water moves in one direction because of density.
Now the man is bullying us.
No, I'm not bullying you. Because of density, right? Sooner
What's
or
the
later,
meaning of what you said?
Oh, what is a semi-permeable membrane?
Yes.
Your skin is a semi-permeable membrane.
Yes. So break it down. So say it that way.
When you put cream on your skin, it only moves in one direction.
Okay.
I'm saying that sooner or later.
Relate that to the borehole.
Sooner, yeah, you are digging a borehole, you are entering the ground.
So that's Professor Sampini, who I spoke to last year on this show. Yes,
Professor.
and he did the study.
Yeah.
In the mining areas and how it was affecting fetus and unborn children and all those things. Yes.
Randy, if you dig a borehole, what you are trying to do is you are trying to get to the groundwater in the ground. And it is the same subsurface flow I was talking about that will bring the minerals from NG to Accra.
Yes.
So after a certain while, Junior, the borehole in your house that you think is safe for which you are drinking the mercury too. Maybe you are drinking it in less quantity. But over time, you will get there. So it's not just about going to drink Obadana that's going to give you kidney problems. You are going to drink water, use it to bath, use it to brush your teeth. Sebi, those who do ablution, very soon the mercury will get into places where you don't want to get it. You don't want it to get to. So the important thing is to stop this disgusting habit. Randy, at a point in my life when I was a kid, my father was the managing director of a Aboso glass factory, right? We used to live in Aboso.
In the Western region.
And the miners, the illegal mining was petty criminals were doing it. So they used to bring my dad this black rock that had gold nuggets. They come, they say they are dashing it to him. He said, but what am I doing with this? Take it away. That is what now people in government, people like Wontumi, people like Kejemfua, people like John Boedu, and the former environment minister.
John Boedu is not.
They themselves said he was doing it.
No.
Allegedly.
Let's be careful.
Allegedly.
I've not seen anything that links him to a mining company.
Okay, so I'm saying if you read their own document, their Japadia document, they've cited it.
You don't use that.
You don't mention
anyway,
let's take him out.
So it is. Let me take him out. But what it is, what they are doing is that because many of them at that level are involved in it, the president is unable to tackle it. That is all it is to begin with. Also, Randy, the military, who have been tasked to deal with this thing and stop it, ever since Major Mahama was murdered, who has been put to jail? Who has been dealt with? So a bunch of people are arrested. They go to court. They release them. Some of them have been charged. Up to today, nobody has been sentenced for President Mahama's murder. Sorry, I say, hey, sorry, Major Muhammad's murder. Right? So, this, sorry for your loss. But these are the reasons why this thing goes on. Because like you said, some of them said, oh, we ain't going to do baby. Randy, another thing is that where those mining activities are taking place is where our cocoa is. So the cocoa crop will suffer. So
in fact, before you go and talk about cocoa and all that, for those who think that this thing is far from, so Alain Gasso, IT, he says that he and some colleagues were involved in a study. This study was published on the Monday, April 22, this year, 2024 edition of the Business and Financial Times. It says urban farm vegetables high in mercury and fecal content. Okay. And the story was filed by Wisdom Johnny Nuekpe. It says an analysis of heavy metals and pathogen levels in vegetables grown using water from selected urban areas of the Greater Accra metropolis has revealed that consumers face health risk linked to mercury, a heavy metal, and fecal coliforms. The study titled Analysis of Heavy Metals and Pathogen Levels in Vegetables Cultivated Using Selected Water Bodies in Urban Areas of the Greater Accra Metropolitan Area was published in April 2024. It examines the level of heavy metals and fecal coliform in two vegetables, lettuce and bell pepper, cultivated using open surface wastewater from drains and constructed reservoirs at various locations within the Greater Accra Municipal Assembly. Using concurrent mixed methods, questionnaires were administered to 67 vegetable farmers, followed by the collection of vegetable samples from 3 urban farm sites. Now, listen to where the sites are: Hacho, Joulu, and the Weja Irrigation Scheme site for laboratory analysis. And the concentration of lead, mercury, and calcium were determined using atomic absorption spectroscopy and microwave digestion of the vegetables, while total fecal coliforms was quantified using the McConkey endo broth method. Results from all 3 sites showed that the concentration of CD and PB in lettuce were within the WHO organization.
CD is cadmium, PB is lead.
Permissible levels. However, the levels of Hg and fecal coliform count in the vegetables from all 3 sites exceeded the WHO permissible limits, and the study concludes that consumers of vegetables from such urban farms are exposed. So health risk associated with Ag and fecal coliforms. Okay, so
you know what Ag is?
Yes, what's that?
Mercury.
Okay.
Ag, the chemical element name for mercury is Ag.
It's Ag. Okay.
So what I'm telling you is what you are seeing, that the subsurface flow, the groundwater, is affected by the mercury that they are using wherever they are using it, and over time it gets to that little gutter that is being used to water the cabbage plant.
Which means that if we were to repeat the study today, they will find worse forms.
Yes.
In terms of the levels.
Randy, using water from drains and stuff to grow vegetables has been done since the formation of time. Indeed, yes. There are positives, a lot of positives as to using that, because it's a form of fertilizer, natural fertilizer, right, to use. So as for washing it, I mean, if it is being washed well, things like even the fecal matter and all those things you are talking about will go. But the mercury doesn't go. You cannot wash the mercury away. And that mercury is catching up with us from wherever they are using it. Ladies and gentlemen who are watching this program, all of us are in danger from illegal mining, also known as Galamsay. This government has decided to do absolutely nothing about it for political reasons, because they tried and it failed. The president did absolutely nothing to the people. You see, those people on the Ministerial Mining Committee, whatever, what we find out that we're doing, if they had been dealt with and replaced, Randy, would we have been where we are? Those people, if they had been dealt with severely as an example to others that may come and replaced, will we have had that problem? And at that time, Chinya, if you people wanted collective responsibility and inter-party approach, the Interministerial Mining Committee, why did you go and put the who's who of Galamsay on it? For them to go back and continue. And indeed, what we have learned, some of us have learned privately, is that that whole interministerial mining thing that they did was actually supposed to perpetuate Galamsay and give mining licenses to some of their people.
Aban, yes, rope any diemo, says young cobrans, you know, and you, who should the winds in any eye, and your cry, you sure where you said the book Galamway moi, tank way moi, your to alum, 10 cities edugum, as an Nana-Addo say. And any yes say, and when you had the make say a check it. Emma Guramay na ye do a big quatakra de a crack must be a gana fanina, a gun will be ho. Na imagine say chemicals proper woman easy, yasapa alarm 10 city, and your woman shille and yabe say, as near the make say a check it. A buy yes slow, what will proper be neat Guramay as so. In so way a beer son yes sir and no, a bit of money, buy. Imagine say chemicals a become mono. Since all back up a become scanner, I used to hold the milk or 2 them 1 year. Abaya blow, yes, Ramo, a high yes, we can't wait to Abadibi. Yes, the one matana for the good yes, as so, as say yes, you, as I say a cocoa, as I say a Japadian, na dear, Abaya slow, yes, just 1 week. Duramay, yes, and touch it, dear. And mark a NPP and Nana-Addo so baba campaign, and the Balabos see as so, I can say yen to Abafamano. Yes, we can be a here boy channel for best Sakumi in the flash as so. Oh, but my sister, Duramas as so, and you're easy. Move back to your Japa de Papa be a yogurt at your cup. I said, drew your cocoa in a good year. I buy your straw. And need your massage so you benucopa ayadi. We should the one cobble and ya transfer the ya. I say, I buy your son, need your ma. What the Sunday and some more. I take your bed, your quamu, and your kamikaze on qua. Yes, right. So I buy a messiah, and that your bread, your mind for your bread.
First in Suano, no, ye dear be I did the idea, no, ye be I can be a you go. Ye did be a diane. Then say, Gamso was saying swinging, and you can put be a Alan de Dugum, and no say ye. I don't know Seguna Noa, what boy yari, and you're crying to Abama, Papi, and I said, Buddha, Methany, a Gimano, ye nibua. Yes, Rabba, so more I said, a Gimano.
You see, now I say no, or higher pa. Says, first night, son. Na ya say jwale edumi si nyema say Galamsay for am say nsuo no entumi fa nsuo no nye bibia.
Excuse me. Sebi makana 3 times.
Ankobra River, situated in the western region of Ghana, flows through the Dwaboso and Nzema East districts. Direct mining on the river in many of the communities along its path has reduced its integrity. The Ankobra is contaminated. The 2023 testing of samples from various catch points revealed high levels of arsenic, chromium, cadmium, lead, and other harmful metals from Galamsay.
I know of MMDCs and MPs in some communities who have employed people to do Galamsay for them. Even some chiefs in some communities do Galamsay.
At the estuary, where it joins the sea at Axim, residents of Ankobra town are bearing the brunt of the pollution.
This is what remains of a once beautiful, clean estuary where the Ankobra joins the sea. It is now a milky, polluted river joining the sea here, and it is denying a lot of residents here jobs, tourism, and livelihoods. We are here to find out more.
Assembly member for the area, Patrick Isua, confirms the illegal mining operations in and around the Ankobra are eroding the economic gains of the community.
Due to the Galamsay activities, we have lost three things. One is tourism. The second one is the source of water. And the third one is jobs. Why am I saying so? Because it has affected us economically. Yes, so we are suffering. We are suffering because of the Galamsay activity.
The fishermen and the women who sell their catch are out of jobs.
Previously, we used to catch some fishes here at the estuary, but with the onset of the Galamsay, all of them are gone. We used to fish August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, but now we can only fish for 2 months and we are running at a loss.
Houses at the estuary have flooded recently. Former assembly member for Ankubra Town, Mr. Morke, believes the silting of the river by Galamsay is to blame.
Now the Galamsay that they are doing is very closer to the Ankubra River. So that's why it's causing the flood in the community, because the sand that they dig and the river that they heap over there flows into the Ankubra River. And now the river is being wide, so the water that comes from the top to this place is more than previous one that we have been seeing. So the Galamsay is directly, that's what is giving us problem in this community.
The constant pollution of the Ankubra River by Galamsay is a violation of the right to clean and potable water. Until government finds a solution to this, people's lives will be affected. From the estuary, Ankubra Town.
This is the main bridge. The main bridge. A separate win. Okay. Now this is the level of destruction. China for you. Sir. We are from Ghana for the level of destruction. Turn on show no. Turn on show and show to. Show no are. Show no are. Return on show to the point say. And this is how. What you mean Gina middle kwa mani ye? Huh? So what you mean Gina middle of tunnel and should top bremu mani ye? Everything is gone. Wow, how they are destroyed, and everybody is quiet. Everyone is quiet in this country. Obiya be ensure everybody. You know what we are saying anyone. He's showing Nkobio. If we are losing the Tano River. Tano River is say every. We are losing it. And everybody is quiet. But you can't catch them. Someone you know be a bad dear. Yeah, dear, bet me. We will fight for.
And at the same time, you will unya ba ko ka se o kwafuma obunya fo no wasana de no ano ni nyina ase nti mo amodo no nti sisia munya nhio free he de do se o kwafu no to anto pia wata na se yan unya anto pia wata kwa ye unya nhio no pia wata e de go o plant we so da bi o ne kwafu no se dia an ko anto pia wata kwa mu wa je mo se o kwafu ma ba o be no ma na nia mi bisa ne se nti plant no mo ye de water because nti na se nia o ka se unya nhio bia mpem o ye de Musa sapra ne sa na sapra no eyi nti we ana mo de dia aha mo dia den aha se ya koko bia koko nti koko na ye bia no nsuo we na ye digi so de bo
se ye nsuo nyina wo ma se rivers nyina Galamsay etu enti panimoni na yi mu.
Oh yes, I mean so sad to say oh na there you say enkofo am benefit omumum na yale san enkwara ye wo mo omumuni mo hwe yale chi wo mo na ye okro pa benefo wo leaders che say am odwon ho a what is going on. Okay, council so because whereby our party will be representative party or just one thing I say and I will cancel our party now. Necessity ideas on your party now. Individuals be among your leaders in your position. True party no. Why don't we distance the party from Nipa na your name within shame more and can cost some trouble no some more yano. The uncle I mean, what is this? Bibia party na ye. Enko for be there.
Oh yeah, no. Omaba. E kwame nkura won ka bi maye. Wabom pa o. Who say sure?
Oh, kwame. But just say minim say edamo. Who party mo? Oh, your party na yes, I know man ekoso no.
Debbie,
individuals. And then tackling individuals na yes answer hunu no. Ni kan wa kan say that the way but adia mo ye anya. Mo ye wa unya is can be ndi. Wo so ye produce to be ba. Wo so wo person be condemn because who condemn wa who party na was 20 e ba affect your party. Kwame enya dam. Kwame sebi enya dam ni Jimmy na ekoso we kro emu sa. O kan go for bi ntiase ase eno obi ba ko ruzi aso ya ma ne post to ka say Jimmy. Kwame Jimmy sa we zuzu ya post no aka sa we. Ade affecting me future. Oh. Because
honorable me can ye enkrofo asende me say Western region and anko Abresia esuompunu dade so Japa Afranse ene ye wasakropon area wo ma say including black voter bole bamboy yes Chinese forces here kasa yi wo mu tun say wo send me pictures Tano River wo ma say no eno free musia so panto so sama boy amanfi enyinam he ya achima bekwase ni nyina anye
ozo ti asema to open for okujana na okonongo a yesi sa korongo asem we senko fo tu wo mu fie wo from te ache e kura on national security yeah, well, everything. Ministers bebre everything yakopon. Ghana power be do Kwame. I don't know. And now they wanted us to wait. Sebia different party about Sunday akasati on one send there. And they say we kasa. There's a party or the okasati or say party and a different party on our country and the okasa. Yeah, Kwame San Jimmy somewhere you couldn't ever say oh. I mean that and young guys you to be a basic any brand no. Well, but I could not baby cry on almost social media question some about one. No, I can't question some more aqua or envy and all I am an opposing to them as some that one I can't want some no I just were here near fraud quite tackle personally because who can't yeah officer factory be just careful no honor. Charlie, Kwame, what is going on there? Ghana for also there, right? It's about timer. A normal way, of course, so we should sit up and tell the two parties that enough is enough. We should turn up. Say, I'm about 32 years, nothing happening. So fuck you two all, fuck you all. That's it.
Hey, America's last number.
I'm meeting authorities and the rules. I can't. No, myself, I'm on. I have for more power to chase Obi Galamsay or on the control military and the police. You guys got that power not to do that kind of thing. More politicians, no. And you don't use the power to do it. Oh.
Now, are you on the way? Sad year, Ecoswe. Yes, say nsuo, yes, say forest, yes, say no. Method Ben employ as a nation. I
mean, where simple method. The issue is say, Omo ba ye de. Your politicians that woman position. Omo de say, you buy stop when they are involved. Situation, be a coso. Na do omo leaders more leading not involved. Kwame won't stop. Because so you new crowd could draw us for Kochia. Now order bus stop. See any bresso, see what NPP so bresso. I remember Anglo Goat. The man program say by man almost see my Cromunia BOE. Like soldier for Drew Boasia on my operation, and this is time, not order bar. Stop. Don't ask, just stay there. No go for you, you know, so for you or her home. San is in so. Once me condemn and this is your mama time for doing that, and same no. I'm also condemning NPP because we say who somewhere. I mean, that is for Ghana. I mean, we have to think about the country. Kwame, in the nation of conform leaders now are involved, so it is difficult to stop until they stop some nonsense. No more, you know. We won't go anywhere. I mean, they can't solve this problem because we are here. We control. We China for an amount. We it true say Chrome. Go up just what to Chrome say to say round. Can you imagine what concession crowd will be secured legally, genuinely? Upa connect China ni was so yajuma. Uba ko report more. Sa person authority on we involved. No, the over report 1 million times. They won't mind you. As if someone crying concession, they might say they are China. This one go do so. I mean, there's a fire apart. No man go ye. It's not there.
Answer. Ye beba hono. Na wuni uni akwasi kwa atin. Adai. Nento kwa muntem dada na.
Oko kwa atin. So no na okwa any campaign no akobo mi din no akobo mi family din say.
Oh, but was say the NPP. They was say the NPP ayama wo. Ne nei wo sori ti NPP say obi ankoto abama alanchere maten. Unu fiefu nyina.
Teze mi akasa no. Nsem no okeka no. Ehu say oye normal so onye normal. Me nim what's going on.
Oye normal.
Because I mean, me obia me team baby me my election. Me they all refer to him so me bread ba me bread penny ba me ba. Now most more year registration for police station, you know. So then I buy na me come once I'm saying people before I address ya ba affect omo. Nipa we win election here in a film. Obi a John Bodu abeka say emfa dues enyi nipa free police station election. Oh, we are not the dues no the almost say John Bodu aka omo fa no mo yi na a court. O my ya na motimi just mo 2 mil kura montino a court na say wontimi so na central region na o ye normal any woman ne. Na kwa me over.
Any woman na say dey.
Say na mo ya the party yin na ewum. Wo so be the MP no, was no apart from central government, Motimba or Bono, one Casacra, who come on for a YJ about 32 million Ghana, a can't boom 12 years here. I'm so quite a calculation in your content. No, the other two are said, who got to see cabinet honey, no much do this kind of year. And I've Aquadani family attack. Coachech, I deal with Musempo, Coachech, MP. Sasi cannot fund, no, it is not for you, it's for the constituency. Na Coachech, my afraid any abatement China my family. Say me crown I do my mamma no na mammy fee any na peja. And I'm say, na go away. Only my family. Opia me papa. In 1954, or you founding member for NLM, National Liberation Movement. I want no. Odia Konya at age 34, 1944. Number Padia Konya wa dance ayase. Odia Konya no because Okoye a member of the NLM no Kwame Kumanya a chance o two na Konya so. Emma every from be cool. One more time them papa back. President I prefer Buzi Abaye president or compensating papa nunti who call Dompasia or transform now go Dompasia on your left side. A free first CC low cost houses are done a be what down so any patasano. OCC was a crooked one now. I found a new IAS at the mammy papa just to compensate him for normal why.
I tough.
Papa in the 60s. So 3 state hotels are now Ghana. Amazada, na Crown, only Atlantic, na water crowd, any city hotel na Kumasi. I see how Jewish shop be an papa there. No, our goldsmith factory, I brought free all over the world, Banho. And your mom, even Asante at that time, Papa na Jew, a man. I will be at that time in the say, as Sasi who tell me as I know we are in the 60s. Number part that time on the white shops, no, I see all a display the jewel and normal. Now because the man of year 23, maybe also 20, and my money in Amna last. So because a man of Bayam and Pejam Papadia, a Peja in India. What do you mean by that? So Papa 90 man Peja in India, and on a Udina family idea, made him an antissa. When Papa in the consulants on the other woman. Papa, all women all 60 years, 60. What is
wow.
And when Papa all 60 years, yeah, maybe MP Kwame. I'm really prime. So go quite I'm no free UK buy. Men I'm Casa Bra. MP no say, honorable men are so copio. Tibeji, almost me a babin pair. And I'm don't buy. Oh, buy, I'm more 23 years, but I'm to Mercedes Benz. I'm don't go rounds.
Now with them,
yes,
with the Benz,
with them. Your friend is smiling Benson. Yes. What a yellow color. We don't call rounds. Now, Satan watch him for no say, O minimum, Jomo Fama, tension me and brothers and appeal to Namsquagu. Okay, Sadia, Mammy Mayor, MC. Me call one tema, now one basso, but I'm the MP, my name is my bear MC.
It is an MC.
Now, we may quite say, no. He was one praying on number contest election or Lucy. Says that time, no, you read and butcher, call him national tennis, region tennis. And I'm saying, well, yeah, come on, my benefit of party. Oh, the over crown dama. National, because butcher, call and I found to so more, but a Kumasi Ashanti region. And I'm going to do you so MC, you know, then honorable Pompon. And now, consuls. Executive with the exception of 2 out of 16, and 1 point. But that may not trap, but 1 point they could raise this category group party of the infantry delegate. But the 3 of the money at that time, and I'm here young, and I'm about 30 years old. The 3 of what the MC paid. You know, he knows. What I say, what party that they Sikabo, the contested primaries. We are crown, who go quite 1 year Jumata. Party do free, call we are civil engineer, call a friend saying, land and no buy. Any other but for a first or him to win a general secretary. You do quite a spokesperson. No, they thought you hold a master's degree. It was a lie. It changed the moon says how poor. Now, you told me some time ago. Madam Casman,
I know the
you politics on. You're full of shit. No, because you're more near money pajama.
Oh, when did you say a personal thing?
Party was communication director, and then Obey MP, and then deputy minister of finance, and then one juicy and friends saying a board. So now we party away now, we cram so benefit. Me call politics more apart from your choir president for na kwadai. Ya hear him when you mu amako position ma won hwehwe we propose idea also wakwada 4 years ya ma ehu 8 years aka me di opposition atamal stroke John Mama it me benefit be na me no one nya benefit
on point na me tie no o say I on dey say be a party na ye bia ma no say dey wo kan o da so yi party na ye na wo so no say party na ye bia ma ba wo do akwago say na chinchin ya ntoma ala nkyere maten. Next party.
Men ko jam baby. I say me a campaign man lunch. I want to see and to my man. And I'm Chamberlain is my man. He's my. Just say I believe in him. Said you want to go also believe in someone, but believing in someone doesn't make you a easy or trusting no matter. Was say me nam na me a campaign. See and to my Alan. Say that be Alan Onya. Then this if when we in just indirectly me a campaign man this. Some of us watch too. I first with the radio. Some yesterday. Me so Ghana this year, me to Ghana continuous more than 1 month. Me took back and forth. Alan, road the man for Miami be. you go for it from party the mono me ultimately home. And the other almost a years I medi. What I say, now no the mamma lawyer said they should handle that. Go out in the court. No prove where Menama may campaign for Allah because with him or was not election I tight. Independent candidate from NPP for Nankasa is survey 3 times. One will say he's losing. Now what a point, many penny Persia national penny our Friday to be. They wanted to draw your candidacy because who why deputy minister of finance. Who say meme kasa meme Kenyans and some na meme can be before Ghana on a mesa party. Would you call your deputy finance? Who you can offer darling boy? Say I can say who minister deputy minister of finance or say mismanagement. The people are mismanaging and they are doing this. What they won't say party. Maybe the American media minister maybe say party. Can you imagine this? Would you so na say na no mo e no abeka me no one na NDC for ammunition to fight NPP. I will says all election one country wa fit you go lunch you o ko lunch no dey ba me na po ko ya na yi na o mienu nyina amba and afid e na ni wase no afid me family no do makosu oh now o ko ati wo family me nim no me kam ko ma asem a oh well there who family ban afrim me papa na me home mama me ba me nkwana sa me personal isa oh well also no say me oboaso ba any family no is the biggest family a susin family bia
wow
man can say so any family na papa nkwa wo 23 ni nua ma aka obi a wo 30 papa na na mo nkwa da owu 23 years ago nana mo nkwa ya 150 and yes calculation na GSM ontana no nua mo and out yen nkwa metima ha me say so what population yet 10 emu 1 yen now is it a joke? That you know they said they can't talk about before because any family for no the traitor so you know almost the tata no almost tana no did I'm saying anyway or can't answer who we addition of Jan ever cry about go bo Samuel
ne Samuel ne o mo ba pro ne widie mu anasa de be
then baby send there you meet my idea so I can come back to say be someone don't worry afa so we make us say wo oboase our friends if you are rent out team kra no me sister kru if you na team I ka zo mbetu abere
na are odidan
obi dan on team no why no say ngati na no so amansie ni onya dance ni edimnu se ekuro no post no pay wom keke unti on pay so be property mo ka 12 years MPD ka 12 years MPD who for dance account see who that dance so free go funti na me minim se bia bibia o no kro mo dia second Ghana for politician person voters so they don't look at anything bibia people bia near to abama because they feel say we the ojama MPP and NDC obenya because a party na umujina party dim no mujina say hunu ma me kra me on sometimes kwa me kan nipo ba ba kam dia wa ram fa me ma no ya ka ho dia kwa me ade a majicho no me kan nipo o ba ba kam dia ade a majicho no
unya no ya fo hini wasante mpacho
oh that be say the whole Ghana kra am say ma title no I mean, I come here. When you am a ruffle,